I once believed in forever, a love story written in the stars, a bond unbreakable by time or distance. His eyes held a universe of promise. His laughter was the melody of my mornings. We built a life together, brick by painstaking brick, each moment a cherished memory, each shared silence, a testament to our profound connection. We dreamed of a future filled with children and old age spent hand in hand, watching sunsets from a porch swing. That was my everything, my sanctuary, my truth. I never imagined a world where that foundation would crumble, where my own hands would be the instruments of its destruction. The memories are vivid still, like scenes from a forgotten film reel playing behind my eyelids. The warmth of his hand in mine, the quiet comfort of his presence, the way he knew exactly what I needed without me ever having to articulate it. We had an unspoken language, a dance. Only we understood a rhythm that defined our very existence. I swore an oath in my heart that I would protect that sacred space, that I would nurture our love with every fiber of my being. It felt invincible, a fortress against the world, and I was its fiercely loyal guardian. The naive optimism of youth now seems almost comical, a cruel irony, given the path I chose. But life has a way of twisting paths, of eroding certainties. The pressures began to mount subtly at first, then relentlessly, long hours at work. The silent battles we fought within ourselves, the unspoken expectations that weighed us down. We stopped really seeing each other, stopped listening with the same eager hearts. The easy conversations became strained. The comfortable silences grew heavy with unsaid things. I felt a chill settle between us, a slow, insidious coldness that no amount of effort seemed able to thaw. I longed for the warmth, for the effortless intimacy we once shared, but it seemed lost. Somewhere in the everyday grind, he was there, but he wasn't there. And I felt an aching void growing inside me, a cavernous space that cried out for connection. The laughter in our home grew less frequent, replaced by the mundane sounds of routine, the clinking of dishes, the turning of pages. We were roommates, living parallel lives, sharing a bed but not a soul. The emotional distance grew into an impassable chasm, and I felt myself drifting further and further away. A tiny boat lost at sea, desperately seeking a lighthouse that never appeared. The resentment festered, a silent poison, slowly corrupting what was once pure. Then he appeared, a quiet presence, at first a coworker, a friend in passing. His understanding came easily. His words resonated with a depth I hadn't realized I was missing. He listened, truly listened, not just to my words, but to the unspoken anxieties behind them. He saw the cracks in my carefully constructed facade, the loneliness I tried to hide. It was an intoxicating feeling to be seen again, to be understood without effort, to feel a spark of recognition in another person's gaze. It started innocently. Coffee breaks, extended conversations, late night texts about nothing and everything, a camaraderie, a friendship, a dangerous proximity. He offered a mirror reflecting back a version of myself I had almost forgotten. A person vibrant and interesting and worthy of attention. He seemed to speak my language in a way my partner no longer could, or perhaps no longer chose to. The compliments were subtle at first, then more direct, painting me in a light that felt both unfamiliar and deeply appealing. His attention was a balm to my wounded ego, a gentle whisper telling me I was still desirable, still capable of inspiring passion. The line blurred imperceptibly. At first, then with startling speed, his presence became a comfort, an escape from the growing distance at home. He offered a solace, a validation that my heart was starved for. He praised my intelligence, my humor, my strength. Things I felt had gone unnoticed for so long. The emotional affair was already in full swing long before our hands ever touched my conscience. Pricked me a tiny, persistent needle reminding me of my vows, of the man waiting for me at home, of the life I was slowly dismantling piece by piece. But the intoxicating pull of being desired, of feeling alive again, was a powerful siren song, drowning out the quiet voice of reason. The stolen glances across a crowded room, the lingering touches that lasted a fraction of a second too long, the private jokes that excluded everyone else. Each small step was a justification, each transgression a descent further into a moral labyrinth. I told myself it was harmless, just friendship, a simple need for companionship, a harmless diversion from the dull ache of my own relationship. But deep down, I knew it was more. It was an illicit craving, a dangerous hunger that sought to consume everything in its path. The first kiss was a betrayal, a surrender to a moment of weakness, a plunge into an abyss of no return. It was electric, exhilarating, terrifying. It was everything I had yearned for and everything I knew was wrong. The guilt hit me instantly, a wave of nausea, a cold dread in my stomach, but interwoven with that guilt was a strange sense of liberation, a forbidden thrill that made my heart pound. I told myself it was just once a mistake, a temporary lapse in judgment, that I would fix it, that I would erase it. But the path of infidelity is a slippery slope. One step inevitably leads to another, each transgression making the next one easier. The secrecy became an addiction, the clandestine meetings a forbidden fruit. I couldn't resist the moral compass I once possessed, spun wildly useless in the face of such raw desire, and the desperate need to feel something, anything other than the quiet despair of my crumbling home life. Each lie I told my partner was a brick in the wall I built between us, a solid barrier of deceit that grew taller with every passing day. I became a stranger to myself, a person I no longer recognized, lost in a web of my own making. So I began living a double life, a master of deception. I perfected the art of the lie, the casual alibi, the subtle omission. My days were a tapestry of conflicting emotions, woven with laughter and lies, with stolen moments of passion and long nights of gnawing guilt. I became two people, one living a facade of normalcy, one navigating a secret world of illicit desires. The constant fear of discovery was a heavy cloak, a suffocating weight that I carried everywhere I saw the suspicion in my partner's eyes. Sometimes a fleeting shadow, a question he never voiced a doubt. I prayed he never confirmed the joy of the affair was always tainted by the bitter taste of betrayal, by the knowledge that I was hurting someone I once loved so profoundly. The adrenaline rush of almost being caught was sickeningly exciting, a perverse thrill that added another layer to the complexity of my internal landscape. I learned to compartmentalize my emotions, to shut down the parts of me that screamed in protest, to silence the voice of my own conscience. I became adept at lying to my own reflection, at convincing myself that I deserved this temporary happiness, this fleeting escape from a life that felt increasingly suffocating. The shame was a constant companion, a shadow dogging my every step. The unraveling was slow, then sudden my distance became too vast, my explanations too thin. The spark in my own eyes had changed, a flicker of unease, a telltale sign for someone who knew me so well. The arguments became more frequent, more venomous. His frustration, his pain was palpable, a mirror reflecting my own escalating turmoil. I wanted to confess, to tear down the walls of my deceit. but the words choked in my throat, paralyzed by fear of the inevitable destruction. I clung to the illusion, hoping it would somehow resolve itself, hoping I could escape the consequences of my choices, the subtle shifts in my routine, the unexplained late nights, the phone calls I took in hushed tones. Everything contributed to the growing mountain of evidence. He began to pull away, to a quiet retreat into himself, a desperate attempt to shield his heart from the inevitable blow. The air between us was thick with unspoken accusations, with the heavy weight of impending doom. I saw the questions in